Hi everyone, this video we are going to see how RPA solution design document will look like in real time. SDD is most important part in RPA or any other software components. So here STD of RPA is more different and more detailed process, and in real time every solution design document must be signed off from your client, because this is the agreement between client and service provider. After the discovery phase, the first ever created doc is SDD, which means how the high level solution will look like, how previous system or manual system is working, how would be the to be process or automated process will look like, how disaster recovery will be handled, how process high level looks like, high level technical descriptions, high level functional descriptions, high level roles and their responses. So these are the details being studied. Okay, let's see how RPA resume Here I will show you the online travel booking tool. To start their solutions to RPA, which means they want to automate their end-to-end booking process. Code automation. So how this booking code will look like. See, this is the online booking tool company. This is their process. Book the travel. This is their solution design. See, usually solution designs will be handled by technical architect. The technical architect or tech will be designed the solution design document. Tech arc will coordinate with business analyst and the end-to-end process must be known with business analyst or business process analyst. So, some of the areas business process analyst will take care or will completely take care of those things. Some of the process solution architect or technical architect will take care of the SDD process. And it must be signed off from client before starting the dev or before starting the analysis. Here they have to mention version and what is the date and all. This looks like. Then how it looks like. See, here you can see version or this kind of things, formal things. What would be the approval to create the approval and the feedback date, everything will be the second page version history. This is the format how STD will looks like in RPA. The third thing is how table of contents. What are the contents will be available. First thing is executive summary. It will be the content of how high level RPA business and solution process will looks like. And the second thing is how operation will be had take over by team. And third thing is how complexity of the automated R2B process. The fourth is how the scope of automation. The scope of automation already discovered in discovery stage. But here, how the implementation will be happen, what will be the scope, what will be the out of scope. Suppose, so the travel agent, they are planning to book the ticket of booking bus, booking car, or else booking flight. So, this is their scope. But what is out of scope? They don't want to book hotel for the who they are want to book the customers. Suppose if you take the travel, yatra or some of the bookings, they are arranging hotel as well. But here the out of scope, this travel agent does not consider about how the customer has to stay and all. So the only scope is they want to book the bus, flight or train for the scope. Then robotic automation requirement, how the requirements will be, what are the functional requirements, non-functional requirements. Here if you talk about functional requirements, what are the functions? It means if you are using automation in your how credentials are stored, credential functions, how the email functionals will work on. So that kind of, if you have blue prism, then how the process handled, what are the load balancing, and what are the resource pools, how the scheduling, these kind of functional requirements, both development and deployment functional requirements will be available here. And what would be the success criteria? They are only the booking travel. Once booking completed, they update the travel request and they send the mail and message to user. And here you have to mention what are the target applications for the particular SDD. It means travel site, traveler, yes, they must be, the travel information must be stored in database and Excel file and web service or SOAP web service or HTTP web service, whatever the web service you used. So these are the target applications. Suppose you are using some other target application, that as well, it has to include here target applications. And how the information will be secure here based on the client request. This is the secure. And here 9, how the business continue to plan and disaster recovery plan. Suppose your control room or else your server or side park or your application server or database server. If you are in Delhi, if any disaster happen in Delhi, any problem happen in Delhi or any pollution, high level pollution will happen in Delhi, how the next plan? It will be Noida or it will be Mumbai or how it will be looks like. So that type of business continuity and disaster recovery plans will be made sure here. So this is the thing you have to, the study will be made sure here. And what are the risks? Before that, what are the risks will be happened? Maybe some risk. It means when booking travel, some server related or server load balancer risk. So we have to capture the risk and what is the mitigation will be happen. What are the mitigation you have to do for that? That will be captured here. And how this testing will be captured. How your credential will be maintained. It means how bot password or change password or a credential wallet or credential manager, how you can handle this type of things will be handled credential management. Yeah, what I need to is before going to deep dive, I am planning to make next video for high level STD topic. Thanks guys, we will see next video how it will look place. Yeah. Hi everyone. In this video we can see how the RPA solution document, high level overview, and how the solution document, all of the details like PCP, discover, recovery mode, or else how the business continuity will run, or how the bot will perform through credentials. So these kind of details we can continuously see in solution design document. In previous video we were discussed a lot of details. Continuous this video, how the high level business process will work for RPA. When we talk about RPA is completely different and completely out of world from other technologies. So here we can see how the booking process in RPA will be designed through SDD. Here it is high level process overview of existing travel booking system, how they are doing through website or some other things. So this process has to be automated through RPA. In that case, how the high level process in the ASIS process has to be worked out. So first thing is, previously they sign in and sign up their website. So they are booking for the flights, they are booking train or bus or booking through agent. Once booking completed, they are updating the request. Once request has been updated, booking ID generation, and continuously it will be email and SMS update will send. This is the high level process before the automation. So how the overview will be, what are the supporting documents will be available in this overview. See here you can see ticket master. How, so here each and every step it will define, it will describe how ticket master will work out. So because it means the plan the trip, book the trip, and on trip or expenses, how the complete report will look out. So everything it will be the part of ticket master. So after that, how it will be, see what is the scope in STD, they has to mention what is the scope, what is the out of scope. Here the scope is book the bus or train or flight. Out of scope, book the hotel. Some agents will book the hotels, but here in this STD, out of scope is book the hotel or book the user related some dependencies. So these are our car rental kind of things are out of scope. So STD has to be defined what is scope and what is out of scope. And here you can see how the credentials or admins has to be managed. See here how the bot has to be performed. Here they log into the system, forget password. See, if it is forget password, how the system will go through in RPA. That section has to be defined in TDD. But here simply they mention forgot password, and sometimes system retry. So here you can see when log into the system, sometimes it will not log in. First attempt it will fail. Then bot has to check with second attempt. If second attempt as well failed, the bot has to generate, or bot has to send the exception details to the admin. See, the thing is here in STD is high level, so it will not mention you have to take your credentials through Credential Manager and credential agents. Through credential agent you have to work out for your URLs or high level confidential informations like user password, like that. So these type of things has to be mentioned in TDD, detailed technical design document. But in STD they have the high level overview only, how the login will be performed, what are the role of access. So based on the role of access, it will open through different modules or pages. So what are the roles and responsibilities are available? Admin, role, user, permission. So these kind of information you can view, and you can get the collection of information in STD. And how the corporate travel will be happen. This is when we see the STD, that is two part will be available. We will see that part in future. So how the scope will be worked out, how the out of scope will be worked out. See, when we talk about planning, approving, booking, traveling, communicating, these point of this everything has to be separate module. So first thing is one module, planning, approving. So here the scope is only booking. So but the automation, only booking automation is completely automation and fully automated. But planning, approving, and communicating, traveling, these kind of things are partial or out of scope automation. So it will cover the entire details for travel planning. So see here you can see one more thing is how the target application will work out. See here in future we will see some videos how the target. So in STD there has to mention what are the target applications available. Here the travel site is target application. So without target application RPA doesn't work. Maybe the Excel sheet, or maybe the website, maybe the some other offline applications. Anyway, we need some target application. So that target application has to be mentioned in STD. And what are the versions available in the target application? Suppose it is in suppose when you check about some travel sites, what is the versions? So in the website they have to mention their version as well. And how suppose you are going to do with the SQL database, what is the version you are doing? Microsoft Excel, what is the version you are doing? If it is web service, what is the version you are doing? So that type of version information as well has to be mentioned in STD. For automation, version information is very important, because some of the bots or some of the process will not work in different versions. Suppose if you are thinking Microsoft Windows 2010, lot of bots will not work. If it is 7 or 8, most of the bots will work based on the dependency, because see in 10 Windows 10 or Windows 10.2 like versions have a lot of app related or application related things. So it will bot has to be worked in the same environment. Bot has to be developed in same environment bot has to be deployed in same environment. Otherwise, bot will not work. And see, if you talk about credential management, that is very big concept. See, the first thing of credential management is expiry. How so? In SDD, the high level, they have to mention how many days the credentials will be expired after the suppose bot the target application is only 30 days credential update. So after 30 days, what will happen? The credential management or credential manager has to be continuously. See, bot has to run at least 1 year or 2 years, 3 years. The schedule will run. So that time, your credential has to be expired. So the first thing is the bot has to reset and bot has to check the particular credentials or expiry or particular credential not working. So that has to do, that type of email notification has to be sent in the manager admin or control room admin. Otherwise, bot will not perform the complete things. And one more thing is Windows credential. That is very important. If sign out and log off, that kind of situations, Windows credential has to be managed without the expiry. So these kind of things has to be mentioned in high level STD. How many days password will expire, how before that what type of notification has to be sent, and how to retry login credentials one time or two time. Sometimes the bot will not work based on the initial level. Suppose if you are thinking your credential is somewhat 10 characters or 12 characters, sometimes based on the delay or some other issues, your login has to be failed. So that kind of validation, that kind of credential management, that kind of things has to be clearly mentioned in STD document. And what are the environment dependency? In next video, we can see how the environment and information security, how the high level flow will work out. So that kind of things in next video. Thanks everyone. We will see some more details in our next video. Bye. Hi everyone. This video we are continuously discuss about how the SDD RPA solution design document will be in entire structure. So last two videos we saw a lot of the points, whatever it was covered in solution design document of RPA. In this video we can continuously see how the solution design document will be fulfilled based on the other structures as well, like business continuity plan or disaster recovery, how RPA bot, how RPA will be continuously support this plan. First of all, I want to inform one thing is, in RPA world, what would be the bot ID? So bot ID is very very important. The bot ID must have all the important and necessary access to entire and complete application and board runner schedule access included. So which means, so suppose you have the website, you want to be capture the entire website details through one of the bot. So first of all, in development environment, the developer has to access it, which means developer ID has to be accessed to extract the data through bot. If we talk about other environments like SAT and prod or VAT, in these environments, bot ID will be the part of execution instead of your developer or development user ID. For example, if you have the website automation, website user ID, website user access would be part of the bot ID. So bot has access website and scheduling in control room, usually scheduling will be happen through bot runner access. But bot ID has to be accessed the entire part of run and execution part. That is the main important for RPA bot ID. Okay, let's see how this is the one important in RPA world. Then next thing we can see what is the disaster recovery and what are the parts will included in solution design document for the part of disaster recovery. See, in disaster recovery, when we talk about disaster recovery, suppose your bot is running in Delhi, India. So if something, the first disaster recovery plan is if something will be happen in Delhi, how the bot sources and bot configuration and bot databases, everything will be run without any interruption. The main concept is, so we have plan 1 is Delhi, plan 2 must be in Mumbai or some other location or abroad. So the same configurations, whatever it may be, you have database structure, cluster or mirroring and control room server access, and or else if you are using Blue Prism, BP, server, code access, resource client. So everything will be available in mirroring in other location as well. This is the one recovery plan, disaster recovery plan, and the BCP continuity plan, BCP business continuity plan. So this is the way the bot can run and bot can schedule without any interruption. If anything happens in server in Delhi, see, this is the see here. RPA solution is a workflow design support process. So it is all about the workflow. If any interruption happens, the workflow would be done in the following process. See, first of all, if anything happens, first backup plan will be restore or backup our database. The first thing. The second thing is you have to restore the control room and system manager, gender things. And you have to restore your files. You have to restore client and process but if everything is restored, then only you have to run the process and run the bot. See, these are the things. It would be the prerequisite for database recovery and business continuity plan. How the Blue Prism control room we have two environments, primary and secondary environments. The primary environment is everything which is in own or native location. The secondary environment is other location which is the part of the mirroring. See, when you see this system, this travel error system is entirely available between primary and secondary environment, which means primary and secondary locations as well. So this is the plan for entire site and entire server, entire database server and solution server or main server. Everything has to be leveraged within the mirroring concept of disaster recovery plan. The main thing is first our main disaster recovery plan is database recovery, because all the data will be valuable. The second plan is source or like GitHub, like or SVN, whatever it is, the source controlled repository restoration. It would be the second line, and the third would be the path and files of what would be the configurations. If you got the configuration files where the bot has to run, where the bot has to uh, the bot has to execute, where the bot has to um, restore point, everything would be in the part of the recovery plan. And what would be the see if you do the recovery plan and continue to plan, the part of STD has mitigation, and so the risk and mitigation is more important. The, suppose you are thinking the particular area or particular server has a risk, then you have to be mitigate that. You have to be add the mitigation plan as well. As part of STD, risk and mitigation would be the complete and entirely involved and entirely important thing. So, how the risk and mitigation will work out here in RPA? What is the risk will be happen in RPA? So, how the risk has to be mitigation? So, for example, delay for RPA bot running is risk. So how to mitigate this? So you have to be configure delay, which means if bot is slow and bot is not running properly, that would be the configuration must be managed and the delay would be captured here. This is the risk. The mitigation would be configuration. So that kind of mitigation will be available. We can see in next video how the risk and mitigation will work. Hi everyone. For this video, we are going to discuss about how an end-to-end RPA solution design document and how STD in RPA would be the most important one. See here you can see in previous videos we gone through how the overviews, how the high level bot and the high level STD will looks like, what are the formats, everything we discussed in our previous two videos. In this video we can go some deeper level. What are the risks would be happen in RPA? What is the mitigation plan? For example, if you have a risk in delay, how mitigation plan will work? Suppose you are working bot configuration for this website for automation, end-to-end automation. In that case, delay will work out. See, you are giving some manual or configurable delay. based on the development machine. See, you are developing one machine, the bot development machine. That machine you are provided some delay. Suppose you are capturing two fields. After that you are moving to some other pages. So you are giving some delay between that. So based on your system performance, based on your network, and based on your CPU utilization, your development machine may work within the 2 seconds or 3 seconds a delay. But if you configure the same thing in production or some other environments, or else you can run from control room or system manager, it will not work properly. See, based on the criteria, we have to put some delay. So how delay criteria will be maintained? See, when you talk about delay criteria, if you have automation anywhere, then delay would be, suppose I am planning to type test environment. This is my thing. I want to control C. I want to do control C and control V. I want to do both keystrokes in my application that time. So minimum delay would be will be calculated based on the characters. See, here you can see characters 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 characters. So 15 characters. Okay, if it is 15 characters, then 15 into 25. So one character you must give 25 milliseconds. This is the one. So if it is 10 characters, 10 you have to give at least 250 milliseconds. 250 milliseconds. So this is the way you have to be mentioned. You have to be given the delay. Suppose you are working on Blue Prism, in that case global sun key event or global sun key events, you have to give global delay. So based on the characters what you have faced, what you are passing. So that kind of things would be important in delay. See here, RPA owner the delay due to delay in business adoption. Identify and prepare the mitigation from the next code. Yeah, suppose now you are running in UAT. That UAT machine has not accepted your development delay. So configure the delay properly and go live. If you go live, give the delay properly. See, this is the adoption. How to adopt the bot performance. So, and one more thing is introduction to new release of the target system. This is the common thing. See, if you are working on the one bot, suppose that bot for example, if you are working on Google, so Google 1.0 or example 5.0, you are working on 5.0 with 5 fields of complete spying. Suppose next version available, Google 8.0 or 9.0 version. So there your fields are 8 or 9 fields. So you need to recapture if anything in RPA world, if anything new release will happen, any field changes will happen for the particular website or particular application or particular system, the automation will not work. If any modification will happen in ID or name or class, whatever it is, it will not work. This is the main thing. The target system must be the same whatever you automate before and after also. And that mitigation planning you have to make sure. So the next concept we can see credentials. See, in RPA world, credential is most important one. And bot credential management would be the very important and preferred one, because based on the credentials only bot has to run. See, the first thing is bot ID. So suppose you are developing travel era website into the automation. So in that time, first initial setup is bot ID needs to create. That bot ID has entire access. Bot developer has to do. Developer is making some fields or doing some many changes. The same access has to be happen in bot ID as well. The second thing is, suppose you are working on a website, so it will expire in every 25 days or else 30 days period of time. So in that case, the first time the configuration will be happened in Credential Manager. So based on the credential world attribute settings, the bot ID and bot credential, bot password will be taken. Suppose your bot is running and your bot is going to be capture some other fields. Suppose in that time your login period, your expiry, the website expiry period has been expired. It means 25 days or 30 days column has to be completed. In that case, the exception scenario has to be sent to to control room administrator by the bot. So bot has to send and bot has to have capture password expiry date and send the notification to control room administrator and the process owner. So bot has to notify your credential has been expired. That is the one main thing. The second thing is, so bot is running in particular credentials. Suppose for some reasons that credentials first time bot entered the credentials, but in it's showing invalid credentials. So bot has to have capture particular screen. Then bot has to move into the next try. So bot will not stop until and unless it is not tried the second time. So what in RPA world, bot has to try the second, retry the second attempt. The second attempt as well failed, then only bot has to send notification to invalid credentials to the control room admin or system manager or admin. So these type of credential settings, these type of bot settings is very important, and this would be really captured in STD as well. In STD, bot credentials, how the bot has to run, where the expiry will be, how many days the bot will expire, how many days the application will be expired, how many tablet application, what is the version, everything will be captured in STD website. Okay guys, let's see our next session. It's time to move to next session. We will see more details in our next lesson. Thank you so much. Bye.